3 signs that you should fight to get back with your ex. I'm gonna share with you those 3 strong signs because sometimes we want to give up. Sometimes it's so hard. We have mixed signals from our ex. We try our best. We watch videos online, but we feel stuck. I'll tell you in this video whether you should give up or not. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
First thing that's very important for you to assess whether you should fight or not. And I can't judge whether your ex was a good person or not. I can't. That's not my role. But I want you to have the tools and have the clarity to make the right decision. First of all is what you had was special. You've had enough partners to benchmark, to compare what you had with your ex versus what you had with other partners, and you know this was different. So for example, when I have people calling me and they're 20 and they tell me about their this relationship that they had and it's their first relationship, it's very hard for me to help them because their perception of love, their perception of a relationship is different than someone who is like 40, 50, who's been married, who have kids. And if that's the case, you know what I mean by that. I have a lot of people who are in their 50s and who are sort of starting to get into new relationships after they're married. They know what they want and they know what they don't want. There's also another element, and you should know about that as well, is whether it's the case for your ex, whether you know that it was not a one-sided relationship. I don't have the case often of people where I feel it's just a one-sided relationship, but just make sure that you're not in denial, that you're not creating scenarios in your head of fantasy. One way to assess this is, if your ex told you things, I've never been like this with anyone, it's the first time I say I love you. Perhaps you were dating an avoidant person, and even though he wouldn't necessarily or she wouldn't necessarily open up, you know that this relationship meant something different. Another way to assess whether this relationship was special or to assess broadly the chances you get to get back with your ex, I put together a quiz. And in this quiz, you'll get a score telling you how likely you are to get back with your ex. The idea of this quiz is for you to get more guidance, clarity on what you should be doing next. It's totally free. I'm doing this quiz because I want to ensure that when I speak with people on the phone, they have a high score because I'm obsessed about the success rate and I'm obsessed about selecting in a way people who work with me. So take the quiz if you're not sure, take the quiz to have those answers. It's totally free and it takes about 3 to 4 minutes. The second sign is you respected each other. And it is so important. I'm not talking about mistakes here. It's okay to make mistakes. The problem is really about respect. Because mistakes can be fixed if you've been respectful, right? When you don't have respect, when the other feel that you disrespected them, it's very hard to reverse the dynamic. It's very hard to rebuild the trust, right? Getting back with the ex is really about rebuilding trust. If there's no respect, it's going to be very hard. So again, differentiate whether you've been disrespectful or you just made mistakes. I help people every single day fixing their mistakes. When I assess that there's been a bit of they've been disrespectful, it's very hard. And I would often say, I don't think I can help you to get back with your ex. I can help you with other things, and if you're a therapist and want to work on yourself, fair enough, but getting back with your ex will be very difficult. If you've been too clingy while they're avoidant, this can be repaired. For example, if you want to know what could be mistakes. And I know in some videos and in some other videos you'll see online, being too needy, clingy, spamming their inboxes, yes, these are mistakes. And of course, there's a limit to which a mistake becomes disrespectful, but this kind of mistakes, if you haven't done it for in a too extreme way, you can repair it. Okay, having the right attitude and having the right tools is what will repair those mistakes. Again, knowing that you had something special, because if you didn't have something special and mutual, it's useless. So it's really about what you do now. Unfinished business. There's a third reason, and after I'm going to share with you something very important. You know your story is not over. I don't know your story personally, but you should know. And I'm probably sure that people around you know that your story was special, was different, but it's also unfinished. You know that it's just about, what if I just change this? And this thing is doable. If I just change job, if I just was able to communicate my needs better, if I was less needy, less clingy, if we were able to communicate better. The thing is, the reason you guys broke up is not about the fights that you had, but it's about how you manage the fights, for example, right? And this can be changed. It's just a question of adjustment. Okay? We're talking about problem of communication, but not problem of compatibility. And perhaps you've been together for 2, 3, 4, 10 years. So it's not about compatibility. It's something about the dynamic. And this can be changed. And this can be changed, and this should be sort of tainted in your ex's mind that there is unfinished business. We had plans. We had a future. I spoke the other day with a client. Got recently married. They are, planning to have a family and so on. But the pressure of his work made her think that it's not going to work. And sometimes people think and project their own fear, her fear of being abandoned or not taken care of, because he was so busy working. So it was just a question of finding the right role, finding the right work balance that would make her feel loved. And now they're back together, and she's not pregnant, but they're working on it. And so what you have to understand as well, and I know it's hard to believe, but it's definitely the case, your ex is not sure about that decision. Perhaps they say something like, we'll see. Or, I can't say we're done forever. They left the door open. It's unfinished business. So the question is not for you to run and rush directly through that gap in the door, but it's to really have the right attitude and use the right tools to make them open the door a little bit further. It's not with pressure, it's not with violence, it's not with additional words that you're going to get them to open the door. It's more complex than that. And yes, you can make a difference. You can make a difference. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job. Let's put it this way. Let's be pragmatic. I wouldn't be recording videos and having clients calling me every day if it didn't work. You can affect the course of the story. It really depends on you. It's not if actually, you can change the decision. And don't tell me my ex is stubborn, my ex never changes her or his mind. I really want to help, and I know that if you do the right things, and if you have the right attitude, so it's not only about what you do, but it's also the attitude, which is very hard actually. You will increase your chance and you'll probably get back together. There's no doubt about that. So I put together something to help you out, because it's a lot of information. I've done something quite complex because I wanted to entail my methodology into one thing or course. Have a look in the description. There's a link for you to access the course that will really give you the tools, give you the guidance, and a proper plan to get back with your ex. If you have any question or anything you want to ask me, don't hesitate to leave a question on the comment section, and I will see you next time. Bye. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.